Welcome to the Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast, episode 25. Wow, 25, that went quick. That's almost half a year, by the way. I am one half of your host, Chris, Old School Picker. Along beside me is Caleb from the Old Past. We are just two old guys, three old guys tonight, that resell in sheds in our backyard on platforms like Whatnot and eBay. Introduce yourself, Caleb, and then introduce our special guest, 25th anniversary special guest, after you're done.
I am Caleb from the Old Pass, and this is episode 25. And 25, that's about how old you was when you was allowed to ride the fair rides, right, Chris?
Well, I still wasn't big enough, so I'm still not big enough. It's me and those 9-year-olds over there sitting on the bench, not big enough to ride the merry-go-round.
No, you had to stick with the bumper cars. By the way, welcome in Rocky Top Picker. What's up, Ben? Tell us all about you. Oh my God.
Hey, fellas.
Slide whistle.
How y'all doing? It's great to be here. And it's an honor and a privilege to be asked on here. And I've officially named this. I've actually crowned it officially the Old Guys because I am older than both of you. So I am 50 years old. Not that I'm too proud of that number. But that's the way life is. But anyway, my name is Ben, Rocky Top Picker. I am located in the great hills of East Tennessee, not far from the big time Rocky Top. And I've been a reseller for off and on, man, since eBay's inception, back in the good old dial-up days where it took you 30 minutes to get connected.
Those were the best.
And back then, it started as an auction site. And then when you bid on something, you had to stay glued to your computer to see if you won it or not. And then back then there wasn't no sniping tools either to where you could get sniped. But
I hated that sniping tool, man.
Dude. Yeah.
I lost so many good items on that sniping tool, man. Rip your heart out and stomp on it.
You're right. But I'm just like you guys. I've got a shed like you, except mine's not in my backyard. Mine's off to the side of my house, right next to my driveway, so I can go in and out to my front door. And yeah, man, I met the two of you at your world famous meetup in Crossville, Tennessee. And what an event that was. And of course, everybody all across the community has just bragged about how Tanya made a killer event with her food. And
it actually came up on your last episode of your podcast.
Actually, it did.
It did. Watched it. Yeah.
Wow. But it was a great time. And man, I'm looking forward to next year getting back there with you guys and making it bigger and better, and whatever I can do to help you do that. And I've spent years DJing full time for a living. I owned a wedding venue. I planned events. I've executed events of all sizes.
Are you still doing any of that?
Any of the DJing?
Mm-hmm.
No time for that, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
so when you say full time, you're full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not no 3/4. I'm the 3/4 Cool Kevin #1 fan, since you're the Cool Kevin #1 fan.
Yes.
When the money you make from eBay pays your bills, to me, that's full time.
Well, what if none of my money pays my bills?
Here we go.
Well, see, what brought this up is they discussed this actually on their last episode. I just watched it earlier today. They discussed my video that done pretty good, by the way, over 3,500 views, I think. So that's really good for me. They discussed my video on their podcast, and they got into the discussion of what qualifies a full-time reseller.
Yeah.
What brought all this up is I had a hater going around YouTube telling people that I'm not a full-time reseller because I'm making money on YouTube. And not just me, but other people.
So you're 3/4, like we said. No, you said you was going to graduate up to like a 7/8.
That goes back to the question, though. What is the qualifications of a full-time reseller? And who gets to decide that, number one?
Let's let Cool Kevin decide.
Okay. not to be blunt.
Right,
Me
okay.
Who really cares, dude? You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm at with it.
Haters are going to be, listen, haters are going to be haters, bro.
Oh, absolutely. I've got some. You'll get some soon.
For me, if you're not having to leave your home to go to another location and clock in and have a person you have to report to, you're full-time. I don't care if you're a full-time creator on YouTube or you're reselling. To me, that's full-time.
Well,
you're a full-time creator and reseller.
I loved what I think it was Archie Biscuit Butt that said on the episode.
Ain't that the best name?
We're going to get into that too. But he said, if you wake up and the first thing's on your mind is getting up and seeing how many items you got to ship, or if you got to take offers or send offers, if you wake up and that's the first thing on your mind and you ain't got a job to go to, hey, guess what? You're a full-time reseller. So I love that answer.
That's a good answer.
And everybody's got different qualifications for what a full-time reseller is, but mine is, if that's where my income comes from and YouTube now, I'm a full-time reseller. Not whether I pay my bills or not. That has nothing to do with it.
Think about this. If you weren't reselling, Chris, you'd have no content to be YouTube. You wouldn't have any content to be a creator.
Yes.
He just
so it's all
roast me all day. He could keep doing that.
Well, yes. That's a thought, actually. I think about that every day.
I believe that. I do believe that.
But let me just say, I am so happy to have Ben on here tonight. Huge fan. I mean it. Cool, Kevin. I may not be the number one fan. That may fall under Dave in C-Picture or 88 Dave or Carrie. They may be number, but I'm at least in the top 5 fans. So it's our pleasure to have you on here tonight, man. Yeah. So excited. I do have a bunch of questions I want to ask and a bunch of stuff I want to get into.
Okay.
The first thing I want to get into was I just watched the last episode of the podcast. And you said towards the end of the video that you had a bone to pick with me and Caleb. So I want to know what the bone to pick is. And you can start with Caleb. Start picking a bone with Caleb. Do you remember what it's about?
I'm very capable of handling this. Go for it.
You caused my mind to just scramble right then because I can't remember.
I knew it. I was like, I'm going to ask you what that bone is.
So good.
He's not going to remember.
Well, part of it I think I've already touched on, but I watch you guys every week and how you guys continually refer to we're old. And the fact that I'm older than you guys, I'm like, what? Come on, man. I need to be on here with you to substantiate the word old because I am older. So that's bone number 1.
Okay.
Bone number 2, I dig the wrestling chat talk, man. I dig it. Matter of fact, I've got a trivia question I'm going to pop onions later. You may or may not know the answer to.
Okay.
They throwing the gauntlet down.
On it down, baby.
Do you see the worry?
Yeah.
Do you see any concern in my eyes?
Oh, man. Well, I've got 2/3 of the thumbnail down. Caleb, do something stupid so I can get one of you too.
Brother.
Oh, all right. So, all right, Rocky Top Picker. Tell us about the Rocky Top Picker channel, and then we're going to talk about the podcast as well. Tell us about what you're doing over on the Rocky Top Picker channel.
Well, I'm showing you stuff that I sold. It's actually pretty boring, and it's just something I do to pass the time. And
there ain't nothing about you boring, bro.
I don't have a clue why anybody would want to watch it, to be honest.
Well, I ask myself that every week, every time I do a video.
Hey, try being the guy that's not made one yet. I'm sitting in here going, why in the world am I doing this?
Oh, we're going to get into that too.
Dude, I guess there's a character flaw that I have, and this is going to be the first time I've ever shared this with anybody anywhere, but it's going down right here.
Ooh.
One of my character flaws is I always go for perfection. So if you were here when I'm filming, it would astound you how many times I would film, delete, and refilm and do it again until I get it absolutely the way I want it. I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Takes
I
me.
ain't gonna lie.
forever.
I've nearly done that. Well, I recorded once and I scrapped it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, nope. I said the same thing 3 times that sentence. Sorry. Can't do it.
I'll tell you from experience, get about 450 videos under your belt. You'll leave that behind. You'll be like, that's good enough, man. I'm rolling with it.
It doesn't happen every shoot that I do, but you know, there was a couple times that I come in, I start my video and I do my intro and I would get bumbled in my words, or like I keep my dog out here with me and he started barking right when I went live, and I ended up cutting it, but I ended up leaving it in there as a blooper and just started all over. You know what I mean? So, and then the last video, I was going to come around from one of my shelves to say, hey, welcome to Rocky Top headquarters. And I tripped over some boxes and fell on the floor. So I'm probably going to leave that in there too, but nah, just like the rest of you, Chris. I mean, the what solds, I think that to me, it's interesting rather than picker videos, because you want to know what's sold. You want to know what is currently selling. When you watch picker videos, they're getting everything under the sun and you don't know what's going and what ain't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what I'd like to do, you do the same thing. And I patterned mine a lot after Kevin. And I guess that's how I got the association is
Kevin stole it from me.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
His style of videos is similar to what I do.
Yeah.
But you mix a topic in between your sales.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I found that works better for me to do that.
Well, I mean, the topic, you know, you got to have something to title it. You know, you can't just say what sold, what, because I've done it. You know, you can only do so many titles. What sold on eBay, 15 things I sold on eBay, what's selling now on eBay. You can only do that so many times before it gets super repetitive. So you got to have that topic in there, or you need to. I've actually got some right now that I'm doing that I ain't got no topic. I'm just doing straight what sold video, but it helps. It helps push it out. It helps push it past just your subscribers. It's going to help that channel grow. You know, I mean, I'm 4.5 years in, and I'm just now kind of starting to figure out YouTube because it's a mystery, bro. It's a mystery to me. Now, some people it's not, but to me.
Well, let me ask you this: do you make your thumbnail first, or do you make it last?
Last.
Okay. I've done it both ways, but here's what I found for me.
Yeah.
If I put a lot of thought into the thumbnail with what I want it to say, with my photo, I find before I even shoot the video, I make the thumbnail.
Yeah. I don't the thumbnails, but I would say 70, 80, maybe even 90%, especially over the last 2 or 3 years, I've got that topic before I start filming.
Yeah.
Now, back in the day when I first got started, I'd grab a camera and I'd just start walking around pulling orders. I had no idea what I was doing, didn't care. Yeah. And if I would say something, I was like, during pulling the orders or talking about an item, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I'd title my video that. But now, I think ahead. I plan ahead. But the thumbnails, I still do them usually at the end of the video.
Yeah.
But I specifically make a thumbnail 99% of the time instead of just pulling a thumbnail from the video. I know a lot of people don't know what we're talking about, but I know us 3 guys do. So
I'm learning these little tricks right here.
Well, that is how you learn. You listen to other people that's done it, and you know. It saves you a lot of time by listening to a lot of, you know, learn from people's mistakes, because I've got plenty of them.
I've got a little bit of insider info here. I've got an old school picker at my disposal.
True that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You have a great resource there, Caleb.
Yes.
But if I make that thumbnail before I shoot the video, it keeps me mentally on track not to start wandering off a topic.
Well, that's how I am with the title.
Yeah.
And I just froze. Okay, I'm unfroze, right?
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You froze for a second.
All right. Well, tell us,
Caleb, how many subs have you got now?
106.
Okay. Okay, let's take a break here and let's go ahead and discuss that. Yeah, call a timeout, Ben. Call a timeout. Yeah, all right, timeout. All right. A few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, like 21 days ago, somebody on this podcast, not named Chris, said, once I get over 100 subs, I'm going to drop a YouTube video. You've been over 100 subs, a lot thanks to Ben, by the way, for 3 weeks and still no video.
2 weeks.
You said it 3 weeks ago.
I said it because somebody manipulated me.
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
By the way.
What's the problem, Caleb?
Oh gosh. I'm coming to your house tomorrow and I'm going to steal that.
I bet you don't.
What gives, dude?
I totally forgot what I was going to say. I have
no,
idea.
what you're going to say is your other video is going to drop tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, if it was edited, that would be true. What I am going to say, is this. The Old Pass first video is going to drop by next week, hopefully.
That's the same thing you said last week.
Maybe.
Same thing.
Well, let's see what happens.
Oh, good grief! So
he went from saying it's going to maybe, and now we're going to see what happens.
Yeah.
Next week.
My goal is by the time next week's, sometime next week.
You guys hear that? Before the new year.
Before the
new year.
All I got to say is put it in the fine print if you want it done. Yeah, I just said I'd drop a video, man.
Come on, man. Come on.
Best of CM.
Yeah, but
it's still coming.
But the deal, my friend, was 100 subs. You have now passed that, and you've not followed through on your end.
I did say 100 subs, but I'm at 106. I can't do it until I lose 6 subscribers.
No, listen to his back channel.
You keep videos out.
I know. No, I'm
lying to our audience. We're going to lose 6 subs over here.
I actually told Tanya this week, I said, I've got to get that done because I'm making myself out to be a liar. And, but I ain't gonna lie. It's been like the busiest time. This last month has been insane. So, yeah, fingers crossed. Ben,
you buying that?
Not really.
No, you don't have to.
I've got help tonight, baby.
No, this is Ben's last visit to the 2 old guys.
The last time on this show, boys.
How long a contract did you sign with the Locker Room podcast? We might have to sign you up permanently here just to help me roast Caleb.
Well, it's until somebody makes me mad, I guess. I'll have to go.
Well, I don't know. Let's go into that a little bit.
I'm just kidding.
About the podcast.
Great bunch of guys. On my channel, I was always with the mindset of passing on what little I do know about reselling. And I mean, obviously I'm making the money that pays my bills. Right. So I have achieved some success, which unfortunately
reseller.
Unfortunately in this business, not everybody succeeds.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That is true. And that can be a number of different reasons why that is.
Yeah.
But with the podcast, I always wanted to do something that opposite of what we do here with you guys. But no, I'm just kidding.
No, it's the truth. It's true. Because I was going to talk about that.
Listen, I watch your alls more than anybody else's. That's the truth.
We appreciate it for sure.
So, I wanted to do something to where I can get some different mixes of personalities on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And, I met Brandon, which is from 540 Flips at your all's meetup back in August.
Great guy.
Yeah.
And, he's self-dubbed himself as the rookie. So we just kind of roughshod him about being the newbie to the whole dance.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's been a big sports card seller for a long time, and he transitioned back in January into selling other things other than sports cards. So believe it or not, he dubs himself a rookie, but he has a lot of knowledge.
Oh yeah.
And he does not care to share it, especially on the podcast. He tends to get a little long-winded, but I like that. And so even though he's a relatively new reseller, the way we know reselling,
right,
he knows some things. And then you have Alex, which he lives in Nashville.
Oh, okay. It's good to know.
Well, he was the one person on that podcast I did not know. I did not know him, and he has a pretty big Instagram following, correct?
Alex is a mastermind of doing video shorts, you know, especially YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I've been watching his shorts for a while, and I thought I'm going to reach out to Alex. We had some discussions. I said, dude, how about joining us in a podcast? And he goes, yeah, man. And I'm like, all right, that's awesome. Because I think we have our own Chris Stapleton, if you know that country music singer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he's a big time Amazon seller too, right?
Yes. Big.
So that's a whole nother, ball of wax there too. So that's pretty cool too.
Now, have either one of y'all ever tried Amazon?
I have. Yeah. I've probably sold 30 items on Amazon. Back about 3 years ago, I guess. It was before I moved.
Don't like it?
A lot of hoops to jump through. Yeah. A lot of hoops. It's not like eBay. It's not like go to a yard sale and buy something, bring it home, list it, sell it. It's not. It's a lot of hoops.
Yeah. Well, Alex's bread and butter is selling books, and he sells a lot of Bibles. And Caleb, I don't know how you feel about that, but
I've sold them.
Okay, then we're good to go. Thank you, Lord.
I sold one last week.
I mean, okay, that's an interesting thought, because the same people that will get mad, you sell Bibles, I guarantee you they bought theirs.
Yeah.
At Walmart or a Christian bookstore.
Somewhere they support the same thing that they get mad at resellers for. Yeah. But I say that to say this, I've gave a lot away too.
Yeah. That's actually what I do. I've got.
Yeah, you talked about that in your last video.
I've got a stack. If I sell one, if somebody messages me on Instagram, right now I've only got like 3 or 4. But if somebody messages me on Instagram, hey, I need a Bible, I'll send you one, pay the postage and everything, and just send you one.
Hey,
Bible, that's
the best seller of all time right there, fellas.
Yeah,
that's true. All right, finish up. Biscuit Butt.
Biscuit, Archie. Of course, everybody knows Biscuit Butt. He's kind of like, he's just kind of like the transient around the YouTube community. He pops up everywhere in group chats, other shows. But anyway, Archie's a great guy. I've watched a lot of his content, reached out to him. I said, dude, we need to get together and let's put this together. And I pitched the idea, the whole concept. And we all got together the first time backstage. We talked for a long time to see how well we bounce off of one another, see if we mesh good and all that kind of stuff. And man, we just hit the record and took off. And we kind of brand our discussions over there as infotainment, because every one of us has a different sense of humor. I mean, Archie and I's is about the same, but Brandon's got a different sense of humor, how he tells a story or tells a joke. Alex has definitely got an unassuming sense of humor with some of the funny stuff he says. So there's a mixture of laughs and good time, as well as experiences and information. So the Resellers Locker Room, we're popping tags over there. Every Thursday, the video drops at 9 a.m. every Thursday. I
love how you undercut us there on that drop.
That wasn't on purpose, boys.
Dude, whatever, man. We have 20 videos.
Drop it 1 hour before them and take all their people.
Come in right in front of us.
That's dude. What I would call smart business, I guess.
Yeah,
Let's go to the worst podcast and start before
he don't know it yet, but I'm going to change our drop time to 7 o'clock.
We'll be coming out at 1 a.m. before this is all said and done.
Hey, let me tell you, man. Right, hey, that is pure coincidental. I promise you.
Okay. All right. So the Resellers Locker Room podcast. Everybody go check them out. Here's something I'm noticing though. You only got 156 subscribers over there, but you're getting over 300 views per video. So you need to be pushing that subscribe button.
It's a good
say, come on, guys, we need you subscribe. We're getting more views than we are subscribers. Subscribers don't mean anything, but you got to get that first 1,000 to be monetized. So that first 1,000 means a lot. So,
I mean, we're just like you guys. We need help.
Yeah.
We just need some help.
Well, we was talking backstage. It may have been before Caleb got in here.
I guarantee it was.
Yeah. Ben beat Caleb in here, by the way, guys.
I was 4 minutes early. Okay.
4 minutes.
Four.
I was. You know what time I came out here and got this going?
2:30.
5:30.
5:30.
I was an hour early. And then I came back out here at 6 o'clock, and Ben was in here. And me and him
what I was doing at
30 minutes.
You know what,
dude? I've been sitting in here for 30 minutes staring at your empty chair.
Oh, so you got in here right at 5:30 then?
Yeah.
I told my wife, I said, I gotta get back out there.
Empty chair. So he
was started it at 5:30, and I came.
Chris turned it on, and then he walked out.
I'll go out and turn it on at 5:30 and say I was here an hour early.
I came back at 6, which was 30 minutes before you got.
Yeah. Well, I woke up at 7, but got out of the bed at 8. So was I up at 7 or 8? Yeah.
8, 7, 8.
Don't make me have to referee this, fellas.
What was? Oh yeah, and also, so everybody go check out the Reseller Locker Room podcast on YouTube. Give them a subscribe. 156 subscribers.
They watch them until 9 o'clock and then stop.
Yes. Don't matter how long their video is. 9 o'clock, cut it off and come over and watch us. Don't matter.
Stay with us the rest of the day. Put it on repeat.
But also go subscribe to Ben's personal channel, Rocky Top Picker. Super entertaining channel.
You're going to blow up. It's just a matter of time.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You got something you want to ask, Caleb? Because I feel like I've asked every question.
Wait a minute.
I've got like 10 more questions. If you
host here anyway, you gonna let him roast me over here?
Huh? I'm letting. Yeah. If it's roasting you, yes. Right. Okay, if the question is roasting you, yes. That's the answer.
Okay. All right, go ahead. I'm waiting for it.
Oh, not right now. I can't do it on command. It's just kind of come natural.
Well, I thought you said, does Ben have any questions?
No. Do you have any questions for Ben?
Oh, I do. I do have.
Well, ask one. Good grief. Okay. See what I'm dealing with, Ben? Woo!
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry, Chris.
Okay. Here's my first question. If Chris is CM Punk and I am Peyton Manning, are you Ric Flair?
Woo!
Well,
more like a Jeff Jarrett to me.
Oh, goodness. I don't know about that. That was kind of an insult right there.
That's a hard question, actually.
Ric
Flair is my favorite wrestler.
Oh, he's all top 5 for me. But yeah.
And my second favorite is Macho Man.
Oh, top 3, top 2.
Yeah,
he was the man.
But
did you sell the Slim Jim Macho Man things yet?
I sold the red one.
Oh,
just this past weekend, it'll be on my next video that I drop. $145 I got on that thing.
Good.
What'd you pay for it?
Well, I paid up because it was in a tent. The tent city. $75.
That's still good though.
It's still cool though, and just to be able
to pass that up though.
But my other one that I still have, dude, I'm asking the moon on that dog.
Well, it's more rare, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got like 800 lists on it, but you can make an offer. But I don't know if you guys even been to my store, but there's something in there I think you both would really appreciate. As a matter of fact, I think one of you needs to buy it. Is back years ago, when I collected a lot of wrestling stuff, I was a member of the local WCW World Championship Wrestling crew. So when they come to Freedom Hall in Johnson City, Tennessee, which is 23 miles up the road, we'd get an email to be there at Freedom Hall to help set up the ring.
Oh, that is awesome.
Get all the rail guards in place, and then we could hang backstage during the show. And then, of course, at the end, go out there and tear everything down. But before that, I was able to go to Bash at the Beach, a WCW pay-per-view.
That's cool.
It's like back in 1998 or 93 or 98. And I was able to help work that. And I got the Bash at the Beach t-shirt that's got every wrestler that appeared on that pay-per-view signature on it. And I have it for sale in my store.
No, how much?
And a lot of them are dead now. I mean, pretty much all of them have retired, but there's several like Scott Hall and all those guys that have passed.
Yeah.
I think I got $750 on it.
Dang.
But
you probably get it too.
Well, I know I could probably get more if I send it off and get it authenticated. I know it's real because I stood there with my own Sharpie and watched them sign it. But you need to go in there and look at that shirt.
Yeah, I'll be looking at that.
Bash at the Beach is actually one of the most popular pay-per-views ever because that's the one where Hogan may have not been the one you're talking about that specific year.
2000.
Yeah, that's when Hogan turned on WCW.
Oh, you're talking about that. That's Bash at the Beach 96. Sorry.
Yeah, 96. So.
I thought you was talking about the one where he walked out, quit, Russo come out and cussed him out and all that stuff.
When Russo came about, I kind of backed off.
He ruined it for a while.
He did.
Dude,
that brings me up to a point, though, because I thought this was what you was going to ask me or what you was going to say. But I was watching the last episode of the podcast, you guys, and you was talking about these programs that you have been selling. And I don't know if Caleb watched the last episode yet or not, but tell us about this program because this is perfect reseller mentality right here about what you did with this. Because I'll be honest, I wouldn't have thought of this. I would not have thought this. But tell us about this.
Okay. Well, again, I was at a live event when Nitro came to town. Mm-hmm. And of course, you know, a lot of the production staff, talent and all that, they leave the facility as soon as the show's over. Right. Well, the announcers tables just leave all of the time scripts and timelines laying out. So I was tearing stuff down. I walked over to that table, just rolled that sucker up and put it in my back pocket, took it to the house. But it is it's labeled confidential and it's an actual television script of a Monday Night Nitro show. And it has the timeline broke down. What time is it when the announcer says this, when to cue the pyro, when do you cut to the camera to the locker room where Hogan and Nash are talking? Mm-hmm. So anyway, I dug this out of my storage locker back earlier this summer and forgot I even had it, to be honest. And I thought, you know what? I can make photocopies of this sucker because it says copy. And I can list this and just roll $10 on it all day long, all the time.
That's so smart, man.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
I mean, I've rolled it about a dozen times already.
Well, I mean, if you would have sold the copy you had, how much would you have got for it?
Now, if I went with that mentality, I would at least win $100 to $150 because you can't get your hands on that stuff, especially now.
That's a 1-of-1 right there, man.
Right. Yeah. Let's just say 150, and you said you've sold the copy of it 12 times for $10. So you're at 120 now. Mm-hmm. But you can make that $10 forever.
You've got a
and honestly, the longer time goes, you could probably in a few years from now up it to 15-ish.
Oh, $20.
Right. You know, and keep making money after all these years. You'll make, you may make $5,000 on this thing when it's all said and done.
Man, you're really making me think that I've priced it too cheap.
I'd go 20 right now.
Well,
20?
I mean,
I would.
How much of that stuff's out there? I'd say it's super.
He's got the only one.
From that show, but I mean other shows, how much of that stuff is out there?
How many people thought to walk by and pick up papers? That's the only way it's going to be out there.
And
there
plus,
might be a dozen things out there or something.
Plus, this is from WCW, a company that does not even exist anymore.
Dang, fellas, I'm gonna have to mark that thing up to $20.
Well, I mean, maybe not. Maybe keep selling it for $10. But my point is, you're going to make $10 on that many times over. And I would have went in with the mentality, hey, this is a really cool item. I'm going to sell it one time for $150. I'm super happy about that.
I probably would have too, because I'm not smart enough to think.
I wouldn't have thought about that, but I love that.
I mean, if this has copy on it,
I love that.
I was going to say that's a copy. Well, yeah, it is a copy. It was a copy when I got it.
Right. Yeah. It's not handwritten. It's not original handwritten. So that's awesome. That's
that's pretty
I
brilliant.
love it.
It's 17 pages long, boys.
Oh man, I'd go $20.
Yeah,
because printer ink is really expensive.
Yeah, buddy.
That ain't no joke. Yeah.
Unless I take it to an office supply and get them to run 100 copies off, and then,
But you know what you could do is just digitize that thing and sell the digital copy for like $10.
I thought about that.
No print, just go send them a digital copy of it. Boom, boom.
But when people are getting that physical copy, they
can print it out.
Yeah, that's true. But when they're getting it from him, they think they're getting that what he's actually got.
Yeah, I would give. I mean, I'm not lying. I may go over there and buy one after the show.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll send you guys some if you want.
No, it's awesome story, and
I want to look at that shirt too. Oh, that's too killer. Okay, I got another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold your tongue, Christopher. How long have you had your shed, Ben? Nope. Got to reach back into the.
Actually, it was a year in September. Actually,
really, that's cool.
Yep.
Was it YouTube inspired?
No, I wanted all my crap out of my house inspired.
That's exactly what we were going through.
I understand that too. Mine was YouTube inspired.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know exactly.
And I got tired of running to my mini storage all the time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this thing was over 12 grand, boys. I mean, it's.
Yeah. How big is it?
It's a 12 by 24.
Okay. Yeah.
You've got 12 grand in it total, like
no, just the building.
Ooh.
And then I came in and put in all the R13 insulation, both on the ceiling, in the walls. And then I got particle board and finished the walls out with that pressed wood. You know what I'm talking about?
Them Mennonites are expensive up there in Knoxville.
Dude, yeah, but
golly, dude.
And
you know how much mine was? $6,800, and it's a 12 by 32.
Wow.
Now, this
has a lot of upgrades.
Well, mine has 3 windows and the steel door, but I've got more like 20 in it at the end of the day with all because I've got insulation, sheetrock. We're talking, me and Tanya's talking about putting some flooring in here. That's about the only thing we haven't done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, see, getting electric from the corner of my house, they had to bury it through my part of my driveway is gravel.
Yep.
And they brought it across. That was almost $1,600 just to get power out here.
Good. Yes. Well, see, we did all the work ourselves. So I went and rented a ditch witch and dug the trench, and I run all the electrical. Me and my wife's uncle done that. He hung the sheetrock for me. We insulated it, wired it. If we'd have hired that stuff, no doubt, it would have been every bit that or more.
Yeah,
that electrical stuff's where houses are expensive. You can frame one and dry it in for nothing, and start putting electrical and plumbing in it, and they eat you up.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Well, it's like insulation. I didn't cut no corners with insulation because insulation's so cheap.
Yeah.
That electric, man, that wire, that ain't no joke. That copper, man. That copper ain't no joke.
No, I almost sprayed this one. Yeah. We went with the roll, but I almost sprayed it, and then I was like, I need to cut some costs, so I just went ahead and rolled it in. But it's high, and then of course, that was during the time when 2x4s was like $10 a piece, and it was expensive.
I'm all in on mine, just barely over 10 grand, like 10,500, somewhere in that range.
That's a good amount. That's not bad at all.
But now mine's smaller than both y'all's. Mine's 12 by 20.
But you know how much, if all three of us stopped today reselling and sold our house, these sheds are worth like $150 a foot. I mean, it's crazy. You can add so much value, and eBay does that. It inspired us to get these, so now it's added value to our properties. I was talking to my wife about that the other day. I said, I bet this shed's worth $50,000.
Well, you got a shed compound.
I do have a compound.
He's got 2 sheds, man.
I've got two. I've got one in
Oh.
my backyard, but I keep my mowers and all that in it. My motorcycles.
eBay sheds.
No, it's really not a full-on eBay shed. It's got
eBay dead stock in it.
Not dead stock.
Or
I don't operate
death
with
pile. Death pile.
Oh, that reminds me. We got to talk about that. I got something on that.
Well, roll it, bro. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
Get the hard questions out here.
Listen, did you,
Ben's
Chris,
interviewing us on our channel?
Did you watch our first episode where me and Archie got into the discussion of what he coined the digital death pile, referring to our draft banks?
I heard that one.
I got fired up about that.
I heard you say, I'm going to just drop all 100 and however many.
Well, actually,
yeah,
Caleb's the one that told me about it. And he said, man, you got to go listen to that discussion about that, which I was going to listen to.
Archie's got a point, though. Seriously. He thinks the draft bank is nothing but a digital death pile. That if you put all the work in to get it listed and photoed, why not go ahead and put it out there for sale? And here was my answer. And we still talk about this all the time, me and him. I take one day and I blitz a bunch of listings.
That's me.
And then, like you, because I learned this from you, Chris.
So it's my fault.
Schedule them out. Except I start mine dropping at 4 a.m. because it's not our time that these items drop. It's eBay's time.
Yeah. West Coast.
Yeah. So I set mine start dropping at 4 a.m. and go throughout the entire day, every day. And then at the end of the week, when I'm sitting down, I refill the tank.
Yep. He
He actually said that makes total sense why you would do that. I said, yeah, I don't want to sit in front of a computer and list every day. I don't want to.
I can't. With my life, I can't. That's always my argument. If you
Right.
do list every day, if you actively list every day, draft banks are not the answer. But if you list 1 or 2 days a week, then I think draft banks do. I don't list items in my draft bank and they sit there for 6 months. They usually drop with. I do have like 2 weeks scheduled out, but they'll drop in 2 weeks. What I'm trying to do is push till the end of the year, and then I'm going to go back and start listing some more. Once I get 10 a day for the rest of the year, I'm going to go back and start dropping more to where I'm listing more than 10 a day. But I've not got there yet. I'm only like 2 weeks out right now. But
I'm still considering. I'm still running the 20 a day, right? I haven't stopped. I'm still really thinking about 24 and scheduling them something every hour. Boom, 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 boom. All day, every
24 hours.
Yeah, I think me and Ben talked about that on the 127 sale. He would like to do that. Yeah.
I mean, what better way to get continued activity on your account? You can go in there and do something every hour, but who's got time to do that?
Well, I'll take it a step further too, because I've been thinking about this too, and this is just how my brain works, which is scary. But okay, a lot of people use the draft method. A lot of people on YouTube use it, and how many millions others use it that's not on YouTube, right? And I would say out of all these people that are using this draft method, most people are scheduling them, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30, 11:30, that kind of thing. Instead of dropping it the same time everybody else is, how about dropping it at 10:05, 11:05, 12:05? Ted Turner used to do that with TBS.
Yes, he
for
did.
that reason.
And I appreciated that.
That's just how my brain thinks. So should we, get off that o'clock or that 30 or 15 and do it like the 5 minute? I don't know. I don't know if it'd make a difference or not, but that's what my brain thinks of. And I thought about Ted Turner because of TBS and all that.
Well, what about this? What about you fill your draft to the max of 250, right? Schedule every one of them out. Every one of them.
That's not really the max.
Really?
Yeah.
Now it only lets me do 250.
It only lets me do 250. It starts deleting them if I drop to more than 250. 251, and that first one's gone.
So here's the thought.
Interesting.
Schedule your all 250. Schedule them all. Then turn around I guess it's the frequency of which how many you drop at one time. Right. But if you do 20 at a time, then you could go back and load up at 250, dude. You want to talk about some moving cannons on this thing?
Currently, I have 130 scheduled, and I drop 10 a day, so 13 days, right? And then in the draft bank, I still have 160.
Yeah. But yours is like me. My roll of items out of my draft is on a constant.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's constantly rolling out. They're not sitting there. You know what I mean?
Mine too.
So,
and the only reason I have so many in the draft bank right now is where where last month I ended all those listings and sold similar. Instead of dropping them back, I dropped them in the draft bank. That's the only reason
let me tell you
that many.
One thing I do, I end and sell similar a lot.
Caleb does it every month, every day of every month.
Well, anytime anything is about to end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if mine is if I've got items that's 15 days from ending, I go ahead and end them and roll them out again.
Mm-hmm.
I have done that. I'm not going to lie.
For me, it's gotten me results. I've seen spikes in sales every time I've done it.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. I don't think you can do it too much.
Right.
I think after 2 weeks, it definitely drops off. And then after a month, it drops off again. After 3 to 6 months, it drops off big time.
Yeah.
I had stuff, which I moved 2 years ago. I've had a lot going on, setting the shed up and all that. And I use that as an excuse. But I had stuff in my store over 2 years old from the original listing. That's too old.
Oh, way too old.
Way too old.
Yeah.
So
there's nothing technically in my store technically over a month old. Mine
are about 45. My oldest ones are about 45 days old right now. But what I'm going to do, because I've got so much going on between now and the end of the year, being fourth quarter, I'm going to let those roll for 3 months in the fourth quarter. And then I think January, I'll hit it again and end them and sell similar again.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm going. And I'm going to try to do it every quarter. That way nothing's older than 90 days.
That makes sense.
Well, and we'll see. But when I did it last month, oh my goodness, it changed my sales drastically. There's nothing better than selling old inventory. Nothing better. Get rid of that item that you got money tied up in, whether it be $1 or $20, to get rid of it, to get it out of here. Oh man, that feels so good. So
while we're on the eBay thought mindset here and talking about sales, let's do sell of the week right here, right now.
I got one. You got one, Ben? You got a sell of the week you want to talk about?
Well, I'd have to go with my Slim Jim Macho Man.
Well, yeah,
that's a pretty good.
It's going to be hard to beat. For sure, going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Well, I technically got 3. Kinda. I got more than that, but so when was it? Friday night. I wrap up. I'm done out here at like 5 o'clock. I'm going in the house, and I'm in there for about an hour, and I get this message from this guy. He said, "I'm interested in your United States coin proof sets. I'd like to buy one of each." And I'm like, because I've got like 50 of these things listed. I'm like, holy cow! Like we're talking $1,500, So I come out here and I'm answering his questions like. No joke, probably 20 questions later, I tell him, I'm like, okay, I've got to go in. It's 9 o'clock at my house. I'm going in for the night. If you decide you want these, because he done said he did, but he was hum-hawing around. And I said, if you decide you want them, I'll make you a listing. And I was going to bundle it all together in one listing, give him a really good deal. He said, that would be great. Let me know tomorrow. So next morning, about 8 or 9 o'clock, I made the listing. I drop it. It's just a generic listing. It says coin lot. And I priced it, and it was basically just for him. He bought it $495.
That's good.
I was like, that's pretty nice. Next morning, I get up to a Go Video VCR still sealed in the box it sold for $500.
Wow.
And then Saturday, me and Tanya was at a yard sale. She picked up some speakers, Bose speakers. I listed them Monday morning. This is Tuesday night. They sold an hour ago. Well, at this point, 2 hours ago. for $500. Yeah.
So $1,500 in 3 sales.
And 3 sales. And I pulled it up just to give you an idea. My 90-day, well, my 90 days not, but my 7-day and 30-day has never been higher. I'm almost at 4,000 in 7 days.
Woo.
And
That's great.
I'm this close to 10,000 in 30 days.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I've had $800 sales 3 days out of the last 30. And today is almost $600. And only thing I changed was 10 to 20. And of course the quality, I've been trying to put better quality out for fourth quarter, but I'm telling you what, it's working down here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's working.
My September numbers were terrible.
Yeah.
September. Yeah.
Mine were average at best. Yeah.
My first half was average and that second half exploded. Like I thought fourth quarter has came early.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't stopped. I figured it up a while ago. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I've made $1,700. No, wait, I'm lying. $1,563 since October 1st. 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Are we chalking that up as fourth quarter sales or just really good inventory though?
I really don't know because
I don't. Yeah, I would be like you. I don't care.
I feel like fourth quarter don't really get rolling till like the end of October anyway.
That's why I said that, because typically for me, fourth quarter, as far as like holiday, Christmas type sales, that's more November.
I sell a lot of Christmas stuff all year though. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, but
it's hard for me to say. Yeah. Oh, now it's fourth. I mean, I
tell you too though.
Picks up some, but it's still,
I think it'd be interesting to get Ben's take on this, but I feel like too though, over the last, you've been on eBay forever, like I have. I mean, I've been on it forever, but over the last 20 years, because back 20 years ago, Halloween wasn't like Halloween is now.
Oh my God,
man! October 1st rolls around, people ain't thinking about Thanksgiving and Christmas. They're thinking about Halloween. I've got a Halloween item going out tomorrow, by the way, but that is just. Halloween has kind of just absolutely took over October. So to me, fourth quarter sales, as far as holiday, Christmas type, to me, it's more November, sometimes even up into the middle of November before I start seeing some, that's kind of a fourth quarter sale.
Well, yesterday, my sales, I sold some light up plastic resin jack-o'-lanterns, but they were actually carved. There wasn't the blow molds.
Right.
Sold those. And then a few minutes later, sold us one of these Christmas Village buildings. It's not a Department 56. I think it was a Dickinsville Village building. And,
Halloween, though, right?
Huh?
Was it Halloween or Christmas?
Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So I'm selling Halloween and Christmas. Both of them are moving right now. So
yeah, me too.
Well, I've got since I was going to use something else, but we'll talk about this since we're talking about Halloween and fourth quarter, that type of stuff.
Oh,
I've got tomorrow, boys. Tomorrow I've got a light up 12 and 3/4 inch ceramic gnome Halloween tree going out. It's nice. I mean, it's nothing even, special. It looks like it came from like Big Lots or something, to be honest with you.
Hey, Big Lots is special. What are you talking about?
Yes, it is.
That's one of my favorite stores back in the day.
But I sold it for $30, and I don't know. Actually, I'm going to get it. Y'all talk.
Oh, this is dangerous. We can talk about him.
Oh, man. I've got a Big Lots. It's less than 2 miles down the road from me.
Yeah, we do too. Ours is literally 2 miles from my house.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're like 2 minutes from Walmart, 2 minutes from all the restaurants. It's actually kind of dangerous.
Oh, man, that's
pretty cool looking, man.
Like that Christmas tree,
yeah,
light up Christmas tree look, sitting on kind of like a pumpkin thing with spiders.
That looks like a big piece of candy corn.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But, $30. I was like, okay, I'll take that. I've been trying to list everything Halloween, everything Christmas I could find. I pulled out like Stampin' Up stuff. You guys know how I am with Stampin' Up stuff. I've still got stuff from that church sale back in the spring that I don't have listed. because a lot of it is Halloween and Christmas stuff. So I've been pulling that stuff like crazy and trying to list it.
Let me ask you guys this. Did y'all ever get into buying Halloween costumes?
I've bought a few.
Yeah, I've bought a few.
Okay.
I don't find them like the vintage plastic face.
A lot of them.
I don't find those ever.
Well, the trick that I have learned is you want to get those things listed and sold before that 30-day return window.
Oh yeah.
Before you know what I'm saying? Because after Halloween, they could send them back.
You mean the renter policy eBay has?
The renter policy, yeah, you want to stay ahead of that bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, wasn't it on here, Caleb? That one of our first episodes, I sold a Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it was a goofy hat. Yes, and one of our first episodes, we talked about it, and we said
somebody totally rented it.
Yes, they did.
It wasn't for Halloween though. They had they said they bought it for a party, and it didn't fit. Well, they sent it back like 2 weeks later. What? Yeah, okay, sure, it didn't fit. They rented it. Yeah, that drives me nuts. But yeah, perfect advice on that for Halloween costumes for sure. You're probably better off pulling them down about 2 weeks before Halloween.
I want to know when you're going to get merchandise, Ben. That way we can dress up as Rocky Top Picker.
For Halloween?
Yep, excuse me.
I
would definitely put a helmet, face mask thing. Yep.
Bandana.
Yeah, but I can't grow that kind of hair.
I've got some of those.
Dude, look at this head. I ain't growing that kind of hair.
You need to watch.
No. You got to get yourself a do-rag, my friend, to get you a do-rag.
To hide my 8.5, 9 head up there.
That Peyton Manning forehead you got. You got to use that. You know what I'm saying?
That'd take a big old do-rag, man.
The forehead got a special shout out on the last episode of the Reseller Locker Room, by the way.
Oh, did it? Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be known for that.
And my feelings are hurt, Caleb, that you hadn't even watched it yet, man.
Hey, don't feel bad. Chris is 3 videos behind in this shed. I ain't seen the last 3. I'm telling you, I haven't watched a YouTube video in like a week and a half.
Well, let me tell you something.
I'm lying. I did catch a little bit of Reseller Clickbait podcast today.
Well, I've not watched your last episode yet either because you ain't put one out yet.
That's exactly right.
I feel like this is gang warfare here, boys.
Dude, I'm feeling gypped. If you want to know my true feelings about this scenario,
you want your money back, boys? Don't you say?
I'm feeling lied to.
I get 100 subs. I'm going to do a video. Here we are, 106, nothing.
Leave it down in the comments if you're listening on YouTube. Something about what the heck's wrong with Caleb and his YouTube. You feel lied to. You feel lied to. Right in the comments. You feel lied to.
First of all, I had to learn. I'm still learning how to do the editing. I'm kind of catching on though, because
dude,
I had to drag it back from years gone by. I used to do stuff like this, but yeah, never myself though.
Listen,
just put it out there.
Oh,
you can easily.
You are banned from this show.
You can easily fall victim to paralysis of analysis.
I believe that's true. I do that quite often.
And that's even true, guys, when you're sitting here trying to figure all your analytics in your back end of eBay. You can get so caught up into those numbers.
Yep.
Come on. Yep. I mean, my background's a numbers guy. I come from finance, you know. But I told myself I'm not going to get entrenched into my numbers like some people do, to where they get obsessed about all the analytics and the impressions. And dude, put quality items up there that people are looking for and ask a fair price. And if you're not asking a fair price, let somebody make you a fair offer and move the stuff. That's what we do.
Well, I mean, at the end of the month, are you making more than you spent? If you are,
true that. That's right.
Successful. Now, how much more you make than you spend determines how successful you are. If you make more than you spend, you are successful.
That's if you're a full-time reseller.
Well, that's for full-time resellers. I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm only 3/4.
Yes, there you go.
3/4. All right, most memorable. Most memorable, guys. What is the most memorable wrestling match?
Oh,
Mm.
man.
Name your best one.
I'll tell you, I've got one in mind. Not the greatest like wrestling match, but I judge wrestling matches by the crowd involvement, because the crowd involvement to me is what makes a good wrestling match epic.
I will give you that. Yes.
And one of the hottest crowds I ever seen was when The Rock faced Hogan.
I knew you was going to take my answer.
In WrestleMania. What was it? WrestleMania 18, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was Toronto.
17,
18, somewhere in that range.
It was 17.
I believe it was Toronto, right?
I think it was Toronto.
I think so. You want to talk about?
Yeah, because they turned on The Rock. Like, who would have ever
The
thought
Rock
they would have turned
into this match as the face, as the baby face,
and they
goes in as the heel, and they changed during the match because of the crowd, because the crowd was so hot for Hogan.
Yeah,
you remember the look on Rock's face?
One of the greatest ever.
The Rock looks out the crowd. He's like, just looking like, what is going on? You don't boo me. But boy, they was.
Now, as far as like quality of wrestling, no, it's horrible because they can't do the one wrestle as far as mat technicians, but it's not their game. But man, that crowd was red hot. Oh my goodness. Red hot.
Well, since you told my answer, that was going to be my answer. That
really I answered first.
I watched it live. I mean, I used to watch all of them. Yeah, he does this often. So since you took a purely entertainment spectacle, I'll go with a wrestling classic. My favorite technical wrestling match would be WrestleMania 12, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Iron Man match. It had the crowd, and it had the wrestling, and it had the spectacle. Now, I'll give you Hogan Rock had more spectacle and more crowd, but if you liked the wrestling and all of it together, that was your match.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
I have a hard time voting for anything with Bret Hart. He's just
You're about to get voted off the island, son. Bret Hart was the man.
He's just not my he has zero personality, dude.
No, he does.
Zero.
All he had to say was, I am Stu Hart's son.
And he's still bitter at Goldberg for kicking him right in the head.
Dude, he gave him a stroke concussion. I'd be a little bit mad too. He ruined his career.
I ain't saying he didn't, but Bret Hart going around 20 years later saying he's still done it on purpose, and I don't know if he done it on purpose.
I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't either.
But,
I'm not a Bret Hart.
He was a very safe wrestler either.
Let me tell you what. This match here is already logged into the halls of history. Undertaker versus Mankind in the cage match.
Cell match, yep.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell.
That was a crazy match.
When Mick Foley got tossed off the top of that cage into that table and then came back out later.
He's so stupid.
Again to the ring, like makes you question if he's real or not. Are you a human?
I know Terry Funk and those, he was the king of hardcore, but Mick Foley crossed boundaries that no other man that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Not only to fall off of that cage, but then climb up in there and pour out a bunch of thumbtacks. And just wham! And he said he didn't hit it hard enough, so he rolled around in it.
Well, it changed it forever.
Yeah.
And what's unfortunate about that match is it set the bar so high.
It did.
So high. It'll never be duplicated.
They should have retired the gimmick right then. That should have been the end of the Cell match forever.
Nobody can touch that. Number one, McMahon and the other guy that's over. My mind went blank. Over the other wrestling? They'll never let their performers do that again. That will never be duplicated.
To be honest, it probably shouldn't have happened the first time. But
no, I think he
that was a great risk of death and all that. But you wasn't going to tell Mick Foley he couldn't do that. So.
I mean, there's guys that have died from falls like that.
Yeah, they have.
I mean, you look at Owen Hart. Look how he passed away.
Yeah.
Just coming down one of those ripcord things.
Ain't that? Yeah. Not to make light of that, but ain't that ironic that he had safety device on and he died and Foley had nothing and lived?
Yeah, dude.
Which, I mean, I know there's a difference between the top of the cage and the rafters. I get that, but
Owen didn't even fall that far, did he? Wasn't it like 50 or 60 feet? It wasn't.
I don't know.
It wasn't like all the way up. He was on his way down. He hit the turnbuckle, they said.
He didn't take a hit like Foley did.
No, his was
top
kind
of that
of
cage.
hard. Yeah, but when you watch Foley come down on the table, that table did nothing. He just slid right off that thing and bam.
I know this is going to be a shocker for our viewers, but I'm not a big book reader.
What?
But I tell you what, I have read both of Foley's original 2 books. You want to talk about a good read. And when you guys were talking about him, it reminded me of one of the first things he said he realized about wrestling, because, he was kind of a jobber when he first started. Jobbers, anybody that goes in there and just lets the good guy beat them up.
Yeah.
Like, I realized I had a big old butt that could take the hits and the falls. He said, so I knew I had a career in this. He said, because it didn't hurt. He said, I knew because I had a big old butt, I could absorb those blows. I'll never forget that. It's in his first book, I think.
That's good analysis there.
Yeah, well, I mean, use what God gave you, right?
Yeah. let me share this little tip with you guys. Glenn Jacobs, who played Kane, he's Knox County.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all ever get any merchandise of his, you can make a trip to his office down there in Knoxville County building. Go and ask to see him, and he will come out and he will sign your stuff.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
That's pretty cool.
Of course, anytime you watch because I get my news from Knoxville, so
I do too.
He's on the news every night. He's the mayor of Knox County. And you get both sides of it, if he's doing good, if he's not. But I think for the most part, he's done really, really good up there.
Yeah.
I think everybody seems to like him, and I'll be shocked if he don't get reelected. What little did I know about it?
Yeah, I think he's got it.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a predominantly Republican county, and he runs as a Republican, so that always helps.
Yeah.
So, I'd be shocked if he don't win again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got it in the bag.
Well, I can tell you what, fellas, this was an easy interview process. I mean, y'all didn't ask anything hard.
You want a hard question?
We can. Let me get my real notebook.
Come on, man. Let's dig into this thing.
No, man. We happy to have you, man. We're going to do a dad joke real quick, and then we're going to let Ben go. You're filming your podcast tonight? All right.
Yeah.
So we're not going to hold Ben up much longer.
You're not holding me up, man.
Yeah, your time's more important than Caleb's. I'm not going to hold you up.
We've got a good 15 or 20 minutes if you want to do it. I'm good.
Okay. Well, we can keep going. We'll roll for another 5-10 minutes.
Roll your dad joke out there where I can beat you real quick.
Okay.
Man, I ain't even looked mine up yet. I got to find me one.
Oh, well, we'll let you go last, and you can give you time.
Yeah.
How does a man on the moon cut his hair? Do I need to play the Jeopardy music?
I don't. Go ahead.
Eclipse it.
Eclipse it.
Eclipse it.
Eclipse it.
That's pretty
Come on, leave it in the comments.
For
the win.
That was really bad. I'll have to give you a good grade because it was so bad. Oh boy. It's time to mute his mic again. Okay. So I think whoever invented knock knock jokes should definitely get a Nobel Prize.
That's pretty good. It's so unfair though that you don't give dad jokes allowing me a chance to answer. You just give those one-liners.
I've been doing that on purpose.
I know. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. I think OSP wins that one. You got one, Dan?
Yeah, I got one. Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
Oh, I used this a few weeks ago. Oh, I don't remember.
In case they get a hole in one, boy.
Don't cheat. Oh, man.
I knew it. That was mine, and I couldn't even remember it.
What's the chances of me finding the same one you already did, Chris?
I think we need to have a championship belt made, and it just stays here at my shed.
Dad joke champ.
There you go. That's
All right, guys, leave it in the comments down below. Who won the dad joke?
Yep.
of the week?
Leave it in the comments. Caleb
He
wins.
clips
All
it.
you got to
Come
put.
on, haircut. Get that haircut.
Uh,
Caleb, let's be
Caleb,
honest. You're just mad at the haircut joke because of that hairline.
Let Caleb have it down in the comments about him not sticking to his deal about dropping some videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Videos. No.
Yeah. You got more than one.
A video.
I didn't
You
have
got,
this
you
wrote
got
down.
more.
I did not have this wrote down, but
All
we
right.
can't have you on here since we are talking about the hair. Tell us about the hair, Ben, because I'll be honest. Let me say this. I'm super jealous, man. Come on. Come
What?
on, man. I would totally rock that hair. If I could grow my hair like that, man, I would rock it. So tell us about the hair, man.
Well, all right.
How
I
long
wished
have you
I'd
had it? I mean, obviously you've had hair all your life. But
yeah.
when did you decide to just rock it, man? And just Brett Michaels, Jeff Jarrett, Ric Flair, Cody off of what's that show where the dude's married to like 4 women? They live out Utah.
Oh, don't compare me to that.
That's exactly who you look like. Yeah.
The Sister Wives show.
Sister Wives, yes.
Dude,
Cody
come on,
Brown.
man. He's got a Jerry curl going on. What are you talking about?
Cody Brown. Tell us about the Cody Brown hair.
Well, first of all, I'm not a Mormon. And second of all, I'm not married and I ain't got 3 wives. Thank the Lord. Who could deal with that?
How many ex-wives you got?
I've got 3, unfortunately. That's just being honest, boys. Being
How did I
honest.
know that?
Well, I may have shared that at a time or two.
Oh my goodness.
But no, I started growing this out, I think back in 2019, I guess, because from the time I was in middle school all the way through high school and college, I actually had a flat top.
Oh, okay.
And there wasn't a day when I was in high school that I wasn't wearing a hat to school. And they actually let us wear hats back then. I don't know if they do that now, but I wore my Yankees hat every day. Nobody ever saw me without my Yankee hat on. And so, I got tired of wearing a buzz cut. And I thought, man, I'm just going to grow this out and I'll see where I can get to. And it's funny that we were talking about this because last January, it was halfway down past the numbers on my jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I went to a barber and had a good 6 or 8 inches cut off of it.
It's a good look.
But I'm just going to let it grow, bro. Let it
Okay,
grow to the floor.
Here's the question I want to know.
All right.
Caleb, if you could, would you rock that?
Oh, I couldn't handle it. I can't handle it touching my ears. Ain't no way.
Man,
I would keep mine
would rock that
about
hair.
this short right here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, dude.
I'd be
You have me
walking
on.
around.
You have me on again. I'll have it up in a man bun or
I was
something.
gonna say I'd be having a man bun and everything, dude. I would rock it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets a certain length, though, when it gets to be a certain length, it's difficult to sleep because it pulls on you. I sleep on my back anyway.
Oh,
So when you go to turn, you pulls your hair. You gotta get used to
I'm
that.
a shoulder sleeper.
Yeah, I can't do that. I gotta be
Typically the
flat.
left shoulder, usually the left shoulder, sometimes the right.
Yeah.
What do you sleep on, Caleb?
Whatever.
Wherever you conk out.
Well, I mean, I sleep in the bed. Sometimes I'm on my back, sometimes I'm on my sides, however's comfortable at the time.
Yeah.
I think there's nights he don't even make it out of his recliner, Chris. He just kinda sits.
There used to be, but I have to have I wear a CPAP, so if I go one night without that thing, I am miserable. My throat is closing up because I snore so hard.
Now, when you buy those where you can send them and you can get some good money, right?
Yeah, that's unfortunately not happening right now. I had a brand new, not the one on recall. It was a ResMed, and they turned me down. Brand new, 0 hours, turned me down. They said, we have a lot of overstock right now. We don't need any.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, blame some YouTube reseller that put that information out, and everybody's doing it now.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of people doing it, but
yeah,
I've not
sell them on eBay all the time.
Yeah.
So you better be careful.
Yeah,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. What do y'all think of that? You know, I belong to a lot of chat groups on Facebook, like eBay Thrifters, and I see comments. It's them YouTube resellers that is ruining the market for I mean, that runs up my crawl.
Oh yeah. Well,
you know how many people you have to influence to ruin something, though? I mean, there's 8 billion people in the world. That's a big old market, right?
The last time I got that comment on my video where YouTubers were ruining reseller, you know what I told them? You need to pick your game up. That's what I told them. If the 12 items I showed in this video is ruining reselling, you need to pick your game up.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking, Caleb, you're talking about the power of influence. Well, Dave and his cooking channels pretty much ruined cooking for myself. You know, I don't even care to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of influence.
I'm never buying another stove again because of him.
Yeah, forget this mess. Now he's riding roller coasters. Isn't that crazy?
Okay. I've got one more question. Caleb, do you have one more?
I think I was about done.
Okay. All right. We've not talked about it. We're an hour and 16 minutes in. I can't believe we've not talked about it. Tell us about the Cool Kevin story real quick and how you have rode that ride.
Jeez, that's not a loaded question at all, Chris.
I'm not blaming you, dude. I'd rock it like I'd rock that hair. I'd rock it too. I wish they'd come up with a nickname.
this whole thing, you know, I started my channel. You know, I talked to you before I started and started doing the videos and all that stuff. And one day my phone starts blowing up. They're talking about you on Trash to Cash and they're comparing you to Kevin. And I'm like, everybody's losing their minds over this. And I'm like, I have no idea what y'all are talking about. I never saw the I mean, I watched Kevin he was one of the very first YouTubers I ever watched. And I'm sure many people can say the same.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when the comparisons were being drawn, comparisons, but differences.
Right.
I didn't see it at first.
Kevin ain't got your hair, brother.
No. So, you know, when they started blasting that out with Carrie, you know, hey, you got to watch this Rocky Top guy, you know, like you and I were talking before, Chris, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just me being me on my videos.
Yep.
I'm just me. And I'm like, I don't understand what the big deal is here. But, you know, when the comparisons were made that he works out of a cabin like you do, Kevin, and he's got dogs and he holds his camera way up in the air and he's up here looking at it. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That's right. So cool, Kevin. I do look cooler than he does.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, plus, but you got to give him credit, dude. He tries.
Oh,
First of all, dude, having that many conglomerations of bracelets, I don't know how he can stand that.
Right.
I'm very bare minimum.
Yeah.
But, you know, it looks like he's wearing 50 pairs of handcuffs.
Yeah.
So, but no, I've never met Kevin. I know he's a super nice. I know you guys have. He's super nice, I'm sure. Can't wait for an opportunity. I wanted to go to the reseller rally, but I just couldn't make the time to do that and commit that. Plus, the tickets were pretty much already sold for the boat trip. So I thought, well, I ain't going to just go up there and hang out in the hotel. But I would like an opportunity to meet him, and how fun of a content show would it be to have me and him in the same show together too? Because
see what I can do.
I can see that happening before it's all said and done.
See what I can do.
On you know, before I was the one getting picked on a lot, and he gets picked on a lot by Dave and Carrie. So I got picked on a lot.
Yeah.
And still do with the guys that are in my podcast show, which is the Resellers Locker Room Podcast. You want to go check it out, 9 a.m. on Thursday morning.
That's right.
And but yeah, we have a lot of fun over there, and we do want to on behalf of all the guys on the show with me, we all really think a lot of the both of you.
No, I
and
appreciate that.
me meeting you and you two in person and your families is I really hold you all near and dear to me as friends. And
same here, buddy.
I cannot wait. And I've already extended this to you several times for next year's meetup. Be happy to be a part of helping you in the logistics and planning. I'd love to do that and throw some money towards it. And we'll have our podcast help sponsor it. And throw some funds to it to make it bigger and better, because it was great this year, boys. Y'all done a great job on it.
Thank you.
And we want to eventually may have to have you one at a time on our show. Eventually, you got to come into the locker room because hey, it's just we just try to create a great fun and an infotainment environment.
It's basically this show with a whole lot of reselling, because we don't talk much about reselling here. You guys do. You guys do, and a great job.
Yeah,
awesome information. I would compare it to like somewhere in the middle ground of like our podcast and Reseller Information Network.
Yeah,
that's a good comparison. I think
it's somewhere in the middle, and I love it. I love you guys. I love watching y'all. Great group of guys. Like I said, I didn't know what's his name. Alex. I did not know Alex, but man, love the beard too, man. You want to talk about rocking something? I'm rock
so
that
jealous.
beard too, dude.
I am so jealous of that.
Oh my
This is the best I can do right here. That's the best I can
this
do.
is it for me too, man.
this is about the best I can do.
Well, Caleb can't grow hair on his head or his face.
It's on my back. It is on my back.
But yeah, man, we appreciate you being on here. Any final words, Caleb, and then we'll give Ben a chance to have some final words and
comment of the week. You gonna do that?
Comment of the week. We've got time. I've got time.
I've got to read mine.
Oh God!
Apparently, I'm gonna have to go ahead and message Shannon. Yep. Because she said last week, Caleb, I thought about warning you before the podcast because I was afraid you would quit. Sweet Kathy sent us a box of goodies, and Chris was like a kid in a candy store. I thought she would take all that stuff away from you. She let me down. And here oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, mine comes from Simply Shenanigans, and it's about the toys too. She said, OS Punk drove me nuts with his toys. All right, let's get the truth, Ben. Do I look like CM Punk or not?
Yeah, dude, you kind of resemble him, I have to say.
You're just saying that because I called you.
Do this right here. Do this right here. It's clobbering time.
Clobbering time.
Yeah. No, you got to do it right.
No, I ain't got it in me.
I'll give you this. Omaha.
Omaha. That's right.
All right. Well, Ben, any final words, brother?
Hey, guys, great job. Continue the work you're doing here on this show. A lot of people I know love you guys, and they look forward to every time you do this. And like you said, what we do is a grind, and
it is.
It's kind of you feel like sometimes, if you're like me, it kind of feels unappreciated with all the time and effort that you do put in it. But understand that there's a lot of people out there that do watch, that do find value in spending time with you two. And I know that I appreciate the time and efforts that you guys put forth on this show and Chris's channel, because Caleb ain't done squat yet. So I can't say nothing about him putting any time in. I'm just messing with you, brother. But I'm telling you, if you don't get those videos up, I'm coming to your front porch.
I've got his address.
Hey, if you come to the front porch, you come on in, have supper.
Hey, buddy, I'll do it, man. I've had her food.
Yeah.
But no, hey, listen, I love you guys. Hey, if you're new to this channel, you need to sub to the Old Guys Reselling Podcast. Peace and love to all of you, and thank you so much for having me.
Man, it's been our absolute pleasure.
By the way, 43 more subscribers, and we're going live.
I'm not going live till you put out a video.
No, you done said you would. You're going to be like me and go back on your word?
Yeah, until you go.
You're going to be like him.
Yeah, you go forward with your word. Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to do it.
All right, episode 25. We're a quarter of a way to a century. Man, it's been a heck of a pleasure and been a heck of a show. I feel like this is one of our best shows. Thank you, Ben, for being on here, special guest. If you guys have not checked him out, Rocky Top Picker on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, go check him out. And also check out the Locker Room Reselling Podcast. another great podcast that a lot of people's missing out on.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I want these reselling podcasts to go. I want them to go. A lot of good people doing them right now.
Are you guys just on YouTube, or are you on Spotify and all that too?
We're working on getting submitted the audio version to all the audio platforms.
Talk to that guy right there. He's the brains of that. He's the brain.
If you need help, I'll help you. It's actually really not too hard. But
he's the brains on the audio side for sure.
All right. I'll get with you.
He might be the brains on the YouTube side. We've just not figured that out yet.
Yeah, he really ain't.
Well, on the first video he drops, Chris, we're already going to tell him we're going to be super critical.
Oh, critical. I'm going to roast him.
I expect good comments, okay? I expect good
buddy.
Comments.
Thank you guys for joining us. Episode 25 in the books. Same bat time, same bat channel next week.
Yep.
3 old guys in this episode. Out. Appreciate it.